welcome to this explainer. Today we are exploring an absolutely fascinating collision between cutting-edge volcanology and ancient Javanese cosmology. We're looking at the volatile, often deadly nature of Mount Merapi. And we're not just talking about rocks and magma here, but how an entire civilization manages incredible, earth-shattering pressure, both physically and spiritually.
Let's dive right into this massive force of nature that has literally shaped the landscape and the culture of Yogyakarta for centuries. You see, for the people living right in its shadow, an eruption isn't just some random geological disaster. In the mythology of the Yogyakarta Keraton, or royal palace, Merapi is actually viewed as a crucial point of cosmic balance. So, when the earth shakes, it carries a much, much deeper meaning. Now, looking at this map, it's pretty clear Merapi isn't just a picturesque mountain. It's a towering, highly active hazard zone that demands absolute respect. Those red zones, they map out the very real, constant dangers threatening the surrounding areas. But here's the crazy part. Despite this constant looming threat, millions of people proudly call this exact area home. So, to wrap our heads around all this, here is our roadmap. First, the physical forces of Merapi. Second, the shaken bottle analogy. Third, the imaginary line of Yogyakarta. Fourth, the role of the juru, kunci. And finally, two worlds, one balance. All right, section 1, the physical forces of Merapi and tectonic stress. Let's get into the hard science of it all. Geologically speaking, Merapi is an active stratovolcano sitting directly above a highly volatile subduction zone where the Indo-Australian and Eurasian tectonic plates crash together. Because it's perched right on this active fault line, it is constantly being fed pressure, intense heat, and magma from deep within the Earth. This makes the mountain incredibly sensitive to any local tectonic earthquakes. Moving on to section 2, the shaken bottle analogy, focusing on magma and gas. Okay, this is where the exact relationship between those tectonic quakes and Merapi's eruptions gets really interesting. Imagine the magma chamber is a vigorously shaken bottle of soda. The active magma inside is super fluid and packed with dissolved gases. When a local tectonic earthquake hits, it triggers a mechanism called stress-strain induction. Basically, the quake's stress waves propagate directly into the magma chamber and literally shake it up. This extreme stress forces the gas bubbles in the magma to rapidly separate, rise, and accumulate at the top. It's this sudden, massive spike in gas pressure that ultimately blows the cap off the mountain in a violent eruption. It's pure physics in action. Which brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? When you're living beneath a ticking tectonic time bomb, how do you actually find peace? I mean, if geophysics guarantees that this bottle is going to get shaken again, how on earth do the people of Yogyakarta maintain their balance and survive for centuries? That brings us to section 3, the imaginary line of Yogyakarta and the concept of cosmic balance. The answer to that survival actually lies in what's known as the Sumber-sumber, or the philosophical axis. It's an invisible imaginary spatial line that maps out the spiritual journey of life. Picture a perfectly straight line drawn from the feminine, watery energy of the South Sea, moving directly up to the human center at the Keraton and the Tugu monument, and ending right at the fiery, masculine peak of Mount Merapi. The Keraton sits perfectly in the middle, acting as the ultimate cosmic counterweight between the destructive potential of the ocean and the fiery power of the volcano. At the very heart of this imaginary line is a deeply sacred concept called menunjukkan. It essentially translates to the philosophical union between the creator and the created, or the king and his people. The Sumber philosophy is literally a physical map of this harmony. The vertical connection to the divine, represented by Merapi, has to be perfectly balanced with the horizontal relationships between humans and nature, represented by the sea and the city. Which perfectly leads us to section 4, the role of the juru, kunci, the mountain's spiritual caretaker. To actively maintain this incredibly delicate vertical and horizontal harmony, the Keraton doesn't just rely on abstract ideas, they issue an official mandate. The Sultan appoints a guardian, known as the Surak Sohargo. This is not just some ceremonial title, it's a sacred, heavily burdened duty, directly commissioned by the royal palace to ensure the spiritual safety of the entire region. According to Keraton philosophy, the juru kunci's whole purpose is to maintain the mountain's balance. They don't just monitor the physical environment, they act as the crucial mediator between humans and the mythical spirits of Merapi. They lead the sacred labuhan offering rituals meant to appease the mountain, while also fiercely protecting the local forest ecology. Think of them as a human pressure valve, managing cosmic stress to keep everything completely in check. The most legendary of these caretakers was a man named Mbah Maridjan, and he proved his absolute unwavering loyalty to this cosmic balance during the devastating 2010 eruption. To him, the juru kunci was exactly like a ship's captain. Even when modern seismologists were screaming warnings about tectonic stress and the bottles shaking violently, his worldview demanded that he never abandon his spiritual post. He tragically chose to stay, fully committing his life to maintaining that harmony.
Finally, Section 5, Two Worlds, One Balance. This is where science and tradition meet. When you look closely at it all, whether it's a seismologist tracking stress-strain propagation and gas pressure, or a juru kunci performing rituals to maintain spiritual harmony according to Keraton philosophy, they are actually trying to achieve the exact same thing. One uses terms like subduction zones and a shaken bottle, while the other talks about the lahabun ritual. But both are desperately trying to read massive natural forces to protect the people caught right in the middle of it all. There's this beautifully poetic quote from a local philosophy professor that really hits the nail on the head. If magma is blocked, a massive eruption occurs. Just like if the people's voices are blocked, a social revolution happens. In the Javanese worldview, literally everything is connected. A social imbalance naturally triggers a natural one. So, keeping the mountain calm is intrinsically tied to leading society with justice and fairness. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. Are the shaken bottles of geophysics and the spiritual rituals of the Keraton just two different languages describing the exact same universal need for balance? Because when that tectonic bottle shakes, pressure absolutely has to be released. Whether you're looking at it through the lens of complex gas dynamics or ancient spiritual harmony, the ultimate lesson from Merapi is clear. Respect the pressure, maintain the balance, and always listen to what the mountain is telling you. Thanks so much for joining us.